Guys, welcome to our video. Let me know how my t-shirt looks there. Today this is my new attire. Welcome to our video. Let us know how you find our t-shirt there. Yeah, that's my top. Yeah, that's how I look today. So I want to welcome you to our video, and it's very important. We get to share something very important today. It's about what you call it's a private part for the ladies. It's called a vagina, and today we want to talk about the smelly vagina. What is it? What is a smelly vagina? I want to talk about it, and it's due to the DMs and also what you guys have shared with me, so that we get to know what really is happening. When we talk about smelly vagina, we're talking about a strong or unpleasant odor, and that can be a source of embarrassment and discomfort for many women. So what can cause such kind of embarrassment, or when one has that strong unpleasant vaginal odor or odor, depending how you do your English, and also the discomfort of many women. It can be very embarrassing and very common. Actually, like here in African setting, in especially in back in our primary school, we used to have those ladies who were told that they are smelly. But actually, when you get to find out what was happening there, we have those people with natural odor of their body, and with some teachings they can get assisted and get well, especially with the use of something like the perfume, the perfume I have here. Yeah, it can really get over, especially the natural body odor. So actually this is called Nakiso Rodriguez. It's a good perfume, and very expensive. Maybe you can tell me if you have it in your country. You can check all that. It has a good scent. I love, and I just love it. But we want to talk about now the vagina part of it, because this one cannot help so much on the vagina, but I want to share with something very important, especially with those who have a challenge of this, and are now to really get that kind of help, which which is very important, so that we get to help such kind of people. So guys, uh, what can cause a smelly vagina? One of the reasons is what you call bacterial vaginosis, which is a very common condition that can occur, and this most of the time can occur when the natural balance of the bacteria, because we have a normal bacteria which are in the vagina. So when there is that imbalance, we get that challenge there. So you get that one develops what you call a fishy odor, or smells fishy, like smelling from the vagina. And most of the time when it is determined, especially from the medical perspective of it, one gets treated. And how one gets that treatment is through getting some special treatment, especially the antibiotics. In the common practice, most of the time they get what you call metronidazole and also clindamycin, and we have sometimes the vaginal pessaries. Those are the special tablets we are inserted through the vagina, where one gets treated, and it really works for most of the ladies to clear this what you call bacterial vaginosis. Another thing which may cause the vagina to have that abnormal smell is what you call yeast infections. Yeast infections can cause a sweet or a blood-like odor. I know you guys have know how you smell a bread. You really know how it smells. So this especially when one has these yeast infections, they have that sweet or bread-like odor. So that is how we determine that it's fungal infection. And most of the time, the treatment is use of antifungals. Example is like fluconazole and also some creams. So there are special drugs, especially the vaginal pessaries with the fluconazole, and this can be used to insert through the vagina. In the same, if one has bacterial vaginosis and at the same time yeast infection, we have the insertion of these drugs, because a combination of the pessaries was or a tablet is inserted through the vagina to help that lady get the healing. Sorry guys, I was trying to clear my throat. So the yeast infections, so we use the antifungals like fluconazole and other special creams here, which they are most common. Another cause which can cause such kind of the especially the vaginal to have that bad smell is also due to poor hygiene, especially if the lady doesn't adhere to proper hygiene. And maybe sometimes it may be due to sickness. When somebody is sick, they can get a problem to on how to take care of their private parts, especially the vaginal area. So that smell can be the poor hygiene can lead to this. So the management for the poor hygiene, because when one has poor hygiene, we have what we call the sweat and the bacteria build up, resulting in a very unpleasant odor. So the treatment for this is proper ensuring good hygiene practices, such as washing the vulva. The vulva is the outing of the vagina with warm water and mild soap. This can help to reduce odor. So we don't advocate for very strong dry soaps which are very high in chemicals, because like I told you, we have the normal flora, all the normal combination, or the normal presentation of the vagina, normal bacteria which are there to protect the inner side of the vagina. So if you use a very strong chemical soap, it will gets the vagina to another level where it can predispose you to infections. So we recommend for warm water and also mild soaps, so that we ensure that proper or the hygiene of the vagina is ensured. Another thing which can cause smelly vagina is what you call sexual transmitted infections, that is STI. And most of the time when one has what you call trichomoniasis or chlamydia, so these people have a very strong kind of unpleasant odor, and most of the time they are treatable, so you can get into antibiotics which are typically involved in this to manage the STIs, depending. And when I talk about sexually transmitted diseases which we have here in Africa, we have mentioned the chlamydia, trichomoniasis, so they can also cause those kind of problems. Another thing which can cause smelly vagina is menopause. Menopause can be the factor also in the having this smelly vagina. So because when one, by menopause I mean in ladies, there's a time if you are having your periods, they stop, and their fertility also is affected because of the hormonal changes which occur. And normally they say from 35 years, there's ladies who start menopause at as early as 35, some up to 50 years and above years, so they can get into menopause. That is when now the lady doesn't get the normal menstrual flow, and there are also other signs and symptoms. I'll talk about menopause at some point and also explain what it means. But in a nutshell, because of the hormonal changes and also the change in the pH of the vagina, there is the change also, they cause a very high or unpleasant odor. So most of these the menopause problems which cause the smelly, the doctor determines is the one which is causing the smelly vagina. So what happens is hormonal therapy to alleviate the symptoms, which really causes the problem. So it is very important for that lady who is experiencing such kind of problems to get into healthcare provider so that they can find the reason why you are experiencing such kind of problems, so that you get someone can get that help. So it's important if you have that challenge, you go to your healthcare giver to or health provider, a qualified healthcare provider, duly registered to really help you, so they can identify where the problem is and also offer the appropriate treatment. Like things like menopause, there are special hormonal therapy which can be done. If it's a sexually transmitted disease, then the doctors know what to do. If it's poor hygiene, so this now is initiated to the patient to determine why the patient has the hygiene challenges, so that the patient can be can be able, if it is yeast and also bacterial vaginosis, this can also be determined on how to manage it. So by how one manages, or the management, or how to treat the problems of this smelly vagina, most of the time the number one is very important that the ladies know how to carry on the hygiene. The vaginal hygiene is very important. You should always practice good hygiene. Is number one factor, and there's no shortcut about it. As I've said, avoid very strong soaps. Most of the time, the vaginas have a special way of cleaning itself, but warm water, especially sometimes even it is recommended warm water with salt. At some instance, the lady gets to sit on them and also do some mild cleaning on it, not the douche, not to get into the vagina, because if you enter into the vagina also, you introduce now more bacteria, you kill the good bacteria in there, and also introduce other problems which can cause can introduce now new infection to you, and also it may worsen the situation where, especially in the smelly vagina, and also introduce other infections which can affect that lady at that particular point. Another thing, so you avoid the soaps, dodges, perfume products. I showed you the perfume here. I don't mean that you use it to spray on your vagina. No, we want to keep it as natural as possible. So where also avoid douches. Douches means you want to enter into the vagina. Nowadays we have people advising people on how you can put some maybe herbs into your vagina so that your vagina gets tight, or gets get the infection out. But most of the time you will get into a lot of problems. So actually, they let your healthcare provider duly qualified guide you on how you can manage the vaginal issues which you have. Also wear breathable clothing. By that I mean that wear cotton underwears, because they ease the air exchange within the vagina and also the outside, and also they easily absorb and they dry up very easily, especially the cotton underwear. So, and also it is also recommended that you avoid tight fitting pants or underwear that can trap moisture and create the breeding ground for the bacteria, because if there is not that proper air aeration, you get that you create an environment where bacteria grow, and you will always have that smelly vagina, which you don't need to have at that particular point. So wear breathable clothes. Always avoid tight fitting pants or underwear that can trap the air inside and moisture and create the breeding ground of the bacteria. And for those who have multiple sexual partners, it is highly recommended that you use condoms. Condoms are the best to prevent the STIs, like I talked about trichomoniasis and also chlamydia and other sexually transmitted diseases which one gets through sexual encounter. So it's very important that one uses a condom when not with the not when not with the the normal sexual partner, or when you have not tested with someone, especially on this part of the STIs. So with multiple sexual partners, though it's not recommended, but it is happening. As a healthcare provider, I want to tell you that always safe use of the proper use of the condom can really prevent the STIs, especially the chlamydia, trichomoniasis, gonorrhea, syphilis, and other common kind of those conditions which really affect the can bring about the smelly vagina. Also, uh, you can also avoid certain foods, because some foods also have been associated with getting one into having that smelly vagina, especially the spicy foods can give can give that unpleasant smell, and also uh, foods like onions, garlic can affect also the odor of the vaginal secretions, especially when one takes garlic and also the onions. You get that also the sweat and also the other secretions for the vagina, they are really there. So if you find that they affect how your vagina smells at that particular point, yes, they are healthy, but the excess of it also can bring a lot of issues, especially with your partner. So reduce on those kind of foods, and also there are a lot of spicy foods. Also take a limit on this so that you reduce the odor of the vagina. Also, one of the most important things, which is very important, always seek medical treatment. If you find you have this challenge, I advise you today that you go to your doctor, especially the gynecologist, and share the same, so that they get to know where the problem is from the history which you give. And also, especially for the bacterial vaginosis, yeast infection, there are very good options from our doctors which provide appropriate treatment, and also for, like I said, from the antibiotics and also the antifungals. So you get you get treated very well, and most of the time you get that those drugs which you are given by the doctors, you get they give you especially you are given drugs to take through the mouth, and also they give you also the drugs to take to insert through the vagina. Normally inserting there you have proper instructions, and those drugs are really meant to take care of your situation, and also to the insert. Even they have a special way of inserting, where you insert them, and also what time it should be inserted. They should be inserted at night, and the things which you are taught, especially to avoid during the insertion of those drugs, like now sexual encounter is not encouraged at that point, so that you avoid to get into a problem. Uh, what are the complications of smelly vagina? If that issue is not approached, you get into a problem where now emotional distress comes in. So because if especially a lady is aware that the vagina is smelly, now you get the lady gets embarrassed. Especially the African men have an habit. We are not, if there is that challenge of the smelly vagina, the lady gets really embarrassed, and the guys can talk about it openly. So the lady normally most of the time gets it very rough. So emotional distress can be one of the things. So where lady is always anxious, am I smelling today? What is happening? And at some point, this can lead into depression as a complication. Another thing is about relationship problems. If one really finds out that they have that smell vagina, it is not an easy thing for them. They get really embarrassed, and that can cause an embarrassment and also tension in intimate relationship, and this can lead to relationship problems like breakups, because if one is always having that challenge of the smelly vagina all the time, so that becomes a big issue at that point, and also the relationship can be affected as a complication over the smelly vagina. Also, we have self-esteem issues as a complication, uh, because this affects the self-esteem negatively, and also one gets to get the image now of the body is really affected, and one feels that they are not really good enough uh, to be like maybe a sexual partner or a partner, the other part of it, because now the relationship really gets affected. Also, we have the chronic infections, if you have these conditions about on especially the yeast infection, trichomoniasis, vaginosis, you have them for a long time, they can lead to other problems like infertility at the end of the day, and this may disrupt the body's natural way of functioning. So it's very important also to take care if one is predisposed especially to more STIs at some point, that's sexually transmitted diseases, we may develop what you call pelvic inflammatory diseases, now where it's also very complicated, and it is now a doctor's thing to always manage them, and normally treatment is very aggressive and also very expensive at some point when it comes to those chronic illnesses. So guys, it's very important that we don't get into chronic illnesses. Like I said, always seek that treatment early in stage, so that you get treated in the right way, so that you don't get into the complication. Also, we have because one is not treated, we have a sexually transmitted diseases, a small vagina, so can lead to, like I said, pelvic inflammatory diseases, and also at the end of the day leads to infertility is as a complication. So it's very important to find out from your doctor or your gynecologist what is really happening, so that you get to practice what is right and also the best about it, so that you get to know where your problem is. Smelly vagina may be look very small for some people, and maybe guys may be making fun of that lady, that guy, but it's very important that we get the root cause of that problem, so that it can be treated properly, and also the proper approach is given, so that we get to help that lady. So guys who are having that lady there, if you have a friend there, kindly help that friend, get to the doctor and find out where the problem is, so that because most of the problems of the smelly vagina can be helped through proper care and also the proper management especially in the hospital setting, so that you get to be helped in the proper way on the way forward. I want to wish you a smellless vagina, so that you get healthy and also get to enjoy our intimacy. Very important, guys. Kindly, if you have not subscribed to Siocha Talks, is our channel, please subscribe. And also for any support, I have shared my details. You can support us through PayPal, you can support us through our M-Pesa, World Remedies, and also we have other avenues, as I've shared in the description of the video and also of the channel. And most importantly, like the video and also share with your friends, and also give a nice comment down below. That's the best way in which you can always help us and also make us grow. Let me know from your comments how our channel is doing and what you want to see more in this channel, because this channel, like I always say, is not for me, it's also for you. Guys, let us improve this channel to another level. I want to make this channel a world-class channel. Thank you for the many subscribers and with the rate which is growing, but we want to make it grow more faster, and also support the channel and also give your input. Let me know the kind of videos we want us to do. Let us know what we are doing, if it is good for you, and if there is a way we can improve on what you are doing, so that we make this channel the better for you, the best for you. Guys, welcome, and also welcome to our next video. I want to thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.